Magic, Michael, Larry, Tiger. Some of the most successful people in the world. And today in this video, I'm going to talk about the 7 signs to let you know you're going to be successful. And what I found over doing so much research is that there are 7 things, after doing research of over hundreds of CEOs and successful people and great thinkers in this world. There's 7 signs that you're going to be successful. So if you stay to the end of this video, you're going to learn those 7. And I got a special gift for you. So go ahead and let's jump right in. And so you may be wondering, if you're not familiar with me on this channel, my name is Arturo Johnson, and we help life insurance agents to have consistency and predictability in their business. And so if you're a life insurance agent and you're just tired of bad leads, you're tired of not being told exactly what it is that you need to do, and you're tired of not making any money, this is the channel for you, because there are a lot of struggling agents out there, and we don't want you to be one of those. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So number 1 is being super competitive. This is probably one of the most important ones, being ultra competitive. And that's pretty much what business is, being a competition. And so there's a David and Goliath kind of scenario where a lot of times as us as entrepreneurs kind of starting our business, and particularly life insurance agents, there's always somebody at the top of the leaderboard. There's always somebody that just got an integrity deal or something like that. And we're just starting out. So we are the David and they're the Goliath. And so what we want to channel is that competition and that competitive drive to go from where we are to getting to that next level. And this is probably by far the number 1 characteristic that you'll need to be successful in business. And so I always try to make an analogy between sales and sports, because they're very similar. Salespeople are very similar to professional athletes, and you get paid at a high income based on your performance, and your income potential is through the roof. And so the number 1 skill that we found for people to let you know early on is if they're going to be successful is being super competitive. So number 2, finishing things. Now this is important because there's a saying that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so for me, myself, I always want to finish the drink that I have before I move on to another one. I want to finish a song before I move on to the next one. I want to finish an episode before I move on to the next one. I want to finish a book before I move on to the next one, because I want to get into the habit of finishing things. And early on in my life, when I wasn't successful, ironically, was because I never finished anything. I never committed to the job. I never committed to the road that lies ahead, whether it's relationships, friendships, work, partnerships. All of those things were in shambles until I decided to learn to commit. And so with that being said, I never committed to starting anything unless I was committed to finishing it. And so number 2 is finishing things. Number 3, your circle out-earns you. And we've heard this since we were children, right? You're only going to go as far as the 5 closest friends around you. And in this characteristics of being successful, you want to be around people that are out-earning you, that are a few steps ahead of you, that are light years ahead of you, because this is where you can learn something. And this is where all the growth is going to happen. If your circle normally is your uncle, cousin, your mom, the dog, and the close friend, well, sometimes you're probably doing better off than they are, and there's not much for you to kind of gain. And so what you want to do is you want to replace those people with a motivational speaker like Eric Thomas. You want to replace it with a smart business person like Warren Buffett. You want to replace it with a top real estate mogul and Grant Cardone. You want to replace it with somebody with business mastery like Tony Robbins. And when you switch your circle up like that, that's a sign that you're going to be successful. Number 4, your mind never stops. And this goes into falling into something that you love, because when you love something, you cannot stop thinking about it. Let's take into account your dog, your kids, right? You can't stop showing pictures of your grandchildren. You can't stop talking about that partner or spouse, your favorite movie. You can't stop thinking about these things. And when you do something that you love, your mind never stops. And when you think about something all day long, that's usually when success happens. And so I cannot stop thinking about my business and my team and the growth of my clients as I obsess over those things every single day. And my mind never stops. So number 4 is the mind never stops thinking about the process. And then number 5, credible people see you going places. CEOs, teachers, counsel, wise people that see you and say, I don't know what it is about Arturo, but that dude's got this it and he's going places. And sometimes just seeing the people having the foresight to pick you out and say, hey, you know what? This dude is awesome and I think he's got it. And once his opportunity meets his preparation, then he's going to explode. And so number 5 is credible people seeing you going places. Number 6 is always being a student, right? You always want to be learning something, right? And I know as adults, we get to this point sometimes where we think we got it all together, we got it all figured out, and we don't need to know anything. But you always want to be a student first, because iron sharpens iron, and we always want to be sharpening the iron, which is our mind, right? We want to be feeding it good things, garbage in, garbage out. And so the most successful people in this country, in this world, like Bill Gates, he takes Think Week off, where he goes for an entire week to Wyoming with a bag of books just to learn. Or we can take Warren Buffett, for example. He reads a minimum of 4 hours every single day. And why is this important? Because they're listening and looking to learn. They can learn one thing that can help them take their business to the next level. So number 6, always be learning. And then number 7, the mamba mentality, extremely obsessive. And a lot of people can have a negative connotation to the word obsessive. But if you want to be good at anything, you're going to have to put in hours and hours of work with the mentality, the mamba mentality, and you're going to have to think about it a lot in order to improve. And I learned this from Kobe Bryant specifically. He said that when he got into the league, he would go to practice from 4 to 6 and then take a nap. And then he would come back at 8 and practice from 8 to 10. And then he would take a nap. And then he would come back at, let's say, 1 o'clock, practice with the team. And then after that, he would take a hot tub break or a cold bath, ice tub break. And then he would come back from 3 to 4 and practice. And so he would practice 3 times as many times as the average person in the league. And he did this because he was so obsessed with being the best that even if somebody was as talented or a little bit talented than him, that they would have to work hard for 2 years in order to catch up with him. And so being extremely obsessive with your craft, with getting better, with learning, with growth, and just doing the hard stuff is a number 7 sign that you're going to be successful. And so I hope this video was helpful for you. And I want to give you something. I want to give you instant access to my 7-figure training called Life Insurance Agent Secrets. Now, there is no strings attached to this, but go ahead and get this. I just want to give you some value because whoever's on the other side of this video, I just want to thank you for watching my video, taking the time to sit down and consume some of the content as we try to bring you complete value and really pull back the curtain in the life insurance business to show you that you can have success. So if there's anything that's been said or done in any of our videos to give you some hope, then my job's done. But more importantly, I want to extend my hand to digitally shake it by giving you something free. So go ahead, click the link below and get the free 7-figure training, 7 Life Agent Secrets. All right, hope this video was helpful. I'll see you around.